Hey, I'm FTFE. Welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what AI has done to the careers of people that used to make a living on Fiverr. So, it's Flat Earth debate time. One of those wonderful times of the year where we all give presents. Oh, wait, no, that's Christmas. Yeah, this is a time where we use facepalm protection to, make sure the stupid doesn't damage our brains. We are here with Don Leigh. Don Leigh has told me he is going to take away my ball live, which I am looking forward to. Don Leigh is Flat Earth Debate 1342, and maybe he is, the one, as the 1341 before them, failed to take away my ball. Don, hello, how are you?
Good, mate. How are you today?
Living the dream, or surviving the horrors, one of the two.
Absolutely.
Alright, so, how are you doing? You alright?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I've got the flu, but I didn't want to pass the opportunity, so I'm here.
The pesky viruses, yes. Right, why don't you just introduce yourself to everyone, if they haven't seen you before, which I probably haven't, and let them know why you are a flat earther.
Hey, hello, everyone. Thanks for having me on, Craig. My name's Don Leigh. Most of the time I'm a flat earther because I live in reality.
You're cutting out there, your audio. Hold on, one sec. Why is... Alright, try again. Sorry, your audio went quiet. It's like your phone wasn't picking you up.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Better.
My part, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a flat earther because I'm a realist. And there's a lot of reasons why we know the Earth is flat. There's nothing to do with modern science trying to take away that. But at the end of the day, the water's always level at rest. We watch the sun waft over our heads every day. The moon and the sun are the same size. It's pretty obvious. Unless anyone else can convince me otherwise, well, that's how it is. Been doing this for a while now. I've not really debated anyone. This is my first debate. So it's more of a conversation, I think. You can't have an intellectual debate when no one's got any evidence. There's more evidence to support flat Earth than there is the heliocentric model. So I'd like to have a chat with you, Craig, and work out why you think you live on a ball. So you can ask me as many questions as you like.
Well, the Earth's a globe, not a ball. There's zero evidence that the Earth is flat. I have checked extensively. No evidence exists that holds up to any kind of scrutiny. So water lies level at rest is very true, thanks gravity. So when you say there's evidence of flat Earth, like, is there a measurement that you could reference, for instance, that's been done by any professional that knows how to do measurements that shows the Earth is flat? That would be a good start.
Don't we measure the Earth flat, Craig?
Sorry?
We measure the Earth flat. What do you mean?
No, we do not.
How can you measure it?
Why would you say we measure the Earth flat? What makes you think that? You've watched Nathan Oakley, obviously.
Well, everything's measured flat. I mean, you can go up to any position on the Earth on our flat plane, and you can clearly see it's flat, and you can measure it flat.
Well, okay, right. So right. That's the important word. Measure it flat. Where is the measurements of it being flat?
Where's the measurements of it being a ball, Craig?
mctoon.net/r. There's a whole bunch of professional surveying operations from around the world which all agree with the radius of the Earth being 3949, and they all show that water curves. In fact, if you go to the same page, there is literally evidence of water curving thanks to surveyors doing measurements across lakes. So I actually have a bunch of measurements that I could cite and show you. Do you have a single measurement that concludes your absurd claim that the Earth is flat? Is there any measurement at all that you can cite me?
I'm not a surveyor, so I don't measure the Earth, but it's measured flat.
When you say it's measured flat, what evidence do you have that it's measured flat other than you just saying it's measured flat?
a globe or a sphere. A tangent line's an imaginary line. You can't just straight lines don't work on a globe, mate.
Tangents work on a globe 100%.
Imaginary line. You can't use that. That's imaginary. It's made up.
Yeah, exactly. You use imaginary lines to make the measurements. For instance, you make an imaginary line between yourself and the horizon. That line isn't real. That's an imaginary line, but it's the line that you use to measure angles.
It's flat. It's not. The horizon does not curve.
The horizon absolutely does curve when you get up high enough, but the horizon at ground level is a circle equidistant around you because of the globe. The horizon is a literal effect of the curve. But let's focus in on what you're saying about it can't be an imaginary line. Well, you don't actually use the surface of the Earth to measure. You look through a sextant and you make an imaginary line between your eyes and the thing that you are looking at. That can be anything. I can use a sextant to measure the angular distance between two spheres. I don't need to have anything measured flat to measure between two spheres. So, no, the Earth is not measured flat. In fact, every single measurement ever shows that the Earth is a globe.
It does not.
Well, no, I can. Do you want me to go through? Right, hold on. I'll get you a list of measurements if you want to give me just 1 sec.
It doesn't make any difference.
Well, what do you mean it doesn't make any difference? I actually have a list of measurements of repeatable, testable measurements. So,
not repeatable.
So give me 1 sec. I'm just going to share my screen with you so you can see. All right, and right, and we will make sure that my audience can see it as well. Give me 1 second. Right, so this is radius of the Earth measurements. There's a whole list of them. Well, literally lists and lists and lists. Professional surveying measurements. History of determination of the Earth. There's this large list of measurements done over hundreds and hundreds of years, all professionally done by surveyors. So to say that there's no measurements that say the Earth is a globe, yet every bit of geodesy and actually measurements done by professionals disagree with you. So the fact that there is all of these measurements, like this one, for instance, let me just bring it up so you can see. This is a professional surveyors, and it is repeatable and testable and has been done many, many times. Come on, hurry up and load.
Most geodetic surveys presuppose the globe, Craig.
No, they do not presuppose. No, they do not presuppose a globe at all. That is completely false. Every surveyor disagrees with you, so you can't say that when surveyors say that you are wrong. There's no such thing as presupposing the globe. We know the Earth is a globe, and we measure it to test that fact. So here is measurements, literally done by professionals. So here we go. All the measurements of the the lines of longitude and latitude showing that there's curvature across the United States of America. They exist. They are real. All of the measurements ever done show that the Earth is a globe. So I'll ask you once more, as I have lots of evidence that I can present to people, do you have any measurements that show the Earth is flat, other than you just saying the Earth is measured flat?
You're just saying the Earth's a globe. It's measured.
Well, no, I'm not just saying it. I am referring to the measurements that have been done, and that have been done repeatably, testably. They've been done multiple times. So I don't just say it's a globe. I look at the measurements that I have tested myself to show that the Earth is a globe. So no, I don't just say it. I have measurements to back up my claims. Do you have any measurements to back up your claim that the Earth is measured flat?
Do you want me to grab my tape measure?
You're not going to be able to measure the Earth with a tape measure. I just want you to be able to reference one measurement that backs up your claim.
And it's always horizontal. You don't see any curve. Where do you see curve, Craig? Tell me where you've seen curvature.
There's a horizon. That's an effect of the curvature. But again, you are ignoring the fact that the measurements show the Earth is a curve. Do you have a measurement to back up your claim? Right, okay, so we can dismiss your claim that the Earth is measured flat because that is absolutely false. All measurements disagree. Right?
What measurements? You don't have measurements.
I just
10.
showed you.
What's
Hold
a
on. Wait. I just showed you the measurements.
Show me a bunch of paperwork, mate.
Yes,
You
which
didn't
are
show me
repeatable measurements that can be tested and have been done. You don't get to nut away evidence if you personally haven't tested that evidence. Me, I've tested that evidence.
Yeah, it's fucking bull. That's what you've been doing for years.
Again,
You don't have
I
any
have evidence and I tested that evidence.
How'd you test it, mate?
Well, I used
got
a
a theodolite,
multi-billion-dollar submarine. Well, pound submarine, rather.
Ugh.
Because I was a submariner.
That's yeah, so you say. That's irrelevant anyway. What's that going to prove?
No, not so I say. I was a submariner. 100%. To say I'm not is accusing me of stolen valor, which is a shitty thing to do.
So what's that? What are you going to? How are you going to use that as evidence to show me the Earth's a ball or a globe or a sphere, whatever?
Well, one of my jobs, training as an artificer, was to prepare for emergency situations. Obviously, if the nuclear engine on board a submarine goes down, you have to rely on these secondary diesel engines, and they require fuel. So one of my jobs was to test the diesel consumption over certain distances. So I used globe measurements to calculate the fuel needed for certain distances to test the emergency diesel engines. And based on the globe measurements, I got it right every single time. So I have personally tested what we are told using physics and engineering. I have personally tested. I didn't listen, I tested. Have you ever tested it?
I've tested the Earth heaps of different ways, but
how have you tested that the Earth is flat or a globe? What have you done to test?
Submarine, therefore the Earth's a ball. Like, come on, mate.
No.
Convince me.
Again, I'm not. No, you're strawmanning what I've said. I used a navigation method and calculations of the Earth based on a globe to test if it was a globe by the fuel consumption needed. So I actually tested what we are told. What tests have you done?
To do with the shape of the Earth, Craig?
You don't understand it, I understand. But what tests have you done?
Tests?
Yes, what tests have you done?
Tests? I'm not a scientist, mate.
You said you tested it. You just told me that you have tested it. So what tests have you done?
A mountain and look out at the horizon. Does it curve?
Yeah, I've been up at a bunch of mountains, and what I saw matched what the globe predicts. So, again, you said you've tested it. Could you please talk us through one of the tests that you've personally performed?
Up the top of a mountain, I looked out and I could see the horizon. It was flat.
Yeah, that's what we expect to see on the globe at that distance. Did you compare it to what you would expect to see on a globe? That's not a test. That is just you looking at something and making a conclusion. When I looked out at the top of the mountains, I saw what the globe predicted because I have tested it. So, again, where is your test? Not just looking, where is your test?
At a horizon that's flat. And then
the horizon is supposed to be flat. It is an equidistant circle around you based on the fact that the Earth is curving away at every direction. Of course, the horizon is flat because circles are flat.
With a set radius, Craig, there's got to be a curvature radius.
Yes, there is. The horizon is an effect of that curvature. And we see the horizon at the distance predicted.
Using anything that's CGI or cartoons, I don't want to see that shit. Where can you see curvature, Craig? Where can you see the Earth bending?
I can see it from space and stuff that's not CGI. You just don't get to instantly say that everything from space is CGI. I can look at a satellite right now that's taken a picture in the last 10 minutes of the Earth from space and see that it is curved. So
that's appeal to authority.
No, that's
So
not an appeal to
you're saying
authority.
that you're-
That is not an appeal to authority. Appeal to authority would be saying, the king told me that the earth is a globe, therefore it's a globe. That's an appeal to authority.
Who proved-
Going to the experts and evidence is not appeal to authority.
Yeah, okay. So who proved the Earth's curving?
Many people. Lots of people have been to space.
From the globe. From the globe, who's proved it's a globe?
I gave you a list of surveyors that have done the measurements.
They haven't. They presupposed a globe.
No, they
What's
didn't
a tangent,
presuppose a
Craig?
globe. You don't presuppose anything to do measurements. That would be silly.
How many straight lines do you need to make a ball, Craig?
An infinite amount.
Way, way, way too many. And in the end, it's not even a ball.
No, it's an oblate spheroid. No one says it's a ball apart from you dumbass flat earthers. It's an oblate spheroid that is slightly wider at the equator and slightly wider south of the equator than north of the equator.
You know what water level is? You know where you get a hose and you fill it up with water?
Yes, thanks
hold
gravity.
each end up.
That works because of gravity, yes.
Explain gravity away easy.
No, you can't. Submarines navigate using gravity. You cannot explain that away. We've discussed this. Submarine gravity gradient navigation absolutely destroys any notion of gravity not being real. It is used to literally navigate submarines.
You got eyes and you got ears, Craig. Can you see curvature?
I can see the horizon. That is an effect of the curvature. Why are you changing the subject? You just said we can explain gravity away. No, we cannot explain gravity away. The fact we use it physically for things like navigating submarines and detecting minerals underground shows that it is real.
Sure, that's not density.
No, how do we use density to measure the real time, the gravitational gradient around us? Explain how that works.
What medium do we live in, Craig? Do we live in a medium?
Stop changing the subject.
Okay,
you just said that the gravity gradient navigation on a submarine is density. Hold on. You just said that the gravity gradient navigation on submarines is due to density. Explain that, please.
Well, so hang on. So explain density. Well, if you're in a submarine and you have objects around you, mountains, whatever, under the sea, you're looking for dense things to move around because anything with density will show up on that.
How? How would things with density show up on what? Explain what you're saying.
Give you like even sonar will show up.
Yeah, we're not using sonar. Sonar's turned off because the submarine is being completely silent. We are using literally just a series of accelerometers around the ship to measure the difference in mass and the gravitational acceleration because of that. How does density cause that? How does density physically move the accelerometers on the submarine when it's not connected to them? Explain that.
Seafloor and what's on the seafloor more dense than the water?
Answer the question. How does something being more dense move the accelerometer inside the submarine?
Don't even know what accelerometer is. You could be making that up. I wouldn't know, would I?
I can explain what an accelerometer is if you want. It's very basic. If you want, it's basically a weight on a spring, okay? And the weight is pulled because of gravity, and we can tell the force being applied to that spring, right? That's an accelerometer.
Gravity.
So how does density pull that weight towards it when it's not connected? The laugh of stupidity.
Story, you got little weights on strings on the side of the submarine. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm explaining to you basically what a accelerometer is. It is a spring with a weight on. Okay, that's the basic of what it is. Now it's a lot more complicated than that and made in micro version and extremely accurate. And there's hundreds of them around the submarine that are able to detect differences in gravitational attraction around the submarine based on the direction the accelerometers move. How does density cause that?
Who proved gravity, Craig? Come on.
How does
All
density
you do
cause
is
that?
jab. Okay.
How does density
Who
cause the
proved
accelerometer? I proved gravity by using the system on board a submarine. I proved it. I've tested gravity using the Cavendish experiment. I've tested gravity using the accelerometers on board submarines. Gravity is something that has been proven over and over and over and over.
Theory.
It's not just
not
a theory.
force.
It's not just a theory. That is a dumb thing to say. Let me ask you a question. Is music just a theory?
There's lots of things to do with music. Music theory.
Right, okay, so why does music theory exist if music is not just a theory?
What is the scientific theory, Craig?
I'm asking you a question. Why does music theory exist if music is not a theory?
What's that got to do with anything?
Answer the question. Why does music theory... Answer the question. Pay attention. Focus. I know it's hard. Why does music theory exist? Why does music theory exist if music is not a theory?
Keep asking me all you like, mate.
Well, answer the question. Why does music theory exist if music's not a theory?
Ask me another question.
I've got a triangle of sides 1, 1, and 1. How many sides has the triangle got?
Triangle's got 3 sides, Craig.
And what are the internal angles if the triangle is 1, 1, and 1?
Fucking cares.
Oh, you don't know?
Who cares? Who cares?
So you don't know? That's cool. Right, so gravity is not a theory. The theory of gravity is simply the explanation of gravity that includes all the facts and experiments and everything. A scientific theory includes facts, includes real world experience and experiments and examples. Because something has a scientific theory does not mean it is just a theory. That is just the explanation. Okay. Just like music theory is the explanation of why music works. It's why I took a driving theory test when I did my driving exam. Theory, in the scientific term, is just all the information we have about something. Okay?
No physical evidence the Earth is curving in any direction.
There's lots. So, again, we've been to space and seen it, and we've measured it. Why are you resetting? I've already told you. We've measured it to show it is. I've tested that. We've shown that gravity is real, and we've been to space to see it. There is a whole bunch of evidence.
Hang on a second, Greg.
If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Sorry, hang on a second. I've got a fucking life, and I've got a kid that's hurt himself. All right, so just give me a minute.
That's okay. Right, I didn't realise you could have just said. I also have 2 children.
What do you do to your neck, mate? Just relax for a minute.
This guy's so smart.
He's all right. He's just obviously fallen down playing with the dog.
Is he all right?
Yeah, he's right.
Good. Yeah, right. So gravity, not just a theory, okay?
It's a theory, Craig.
No, it's not a theory. Gravity is not a theory. Gravity is a fact.
Why did the guy... Name's fucking slipped my mind, Braun, or whatever his name was. Why did he fall and accelerate to 1,300 kilometres an hour?
Sorry, who?
Before slowing when he got closer to the globe. Why did he slow down when he got closer to the globe?
Who are you talking about?
Why did he fall that far?
Who?
The Red Bull jump.
Well, because the atmosphere is thicker. The atmosphere is thicker at the ground, which increases which decreases terminal velocity.
Yes.
Because and I know this is an alien concept to you people, but multiple forces can exist at once.
K's an hour, Craig.
Yes, and there was an opposing force due to the atmosphere. As he gets closer to the ground, the atmosphere gets thicker, which decreases terminal velocity. Because there is more air resistance.
Why did he fall speed from high altitude?
Why
Because
what?
the density is much lower.
Yeah,
Why
he
did he
fell
fall
because
so
he
fast?
fell and accelerated because of gravity. Density can't make things accelerate because density is not a force of any kind.
Density is what the medium we are in. So
No,
any
density
more
isn't
density
the
air
medium
will-
we are in. Density is not a force. Density does not have the ability to make anything accelerate. Gravity creates a force. That makes things with mass accelerate.
Weight mass is going to fall.
What?
Especially if it's got more density than the medium.
Why though? Why?
Why do you
There's
want
no reason for it though. That acceleration requires a force. That force is provided by gravity.
You can say it all you like. It's not.
But it is because gravity's real. We've proven that gravity's real.
You haven't. No one has.
Oh, we have. You've just dismissed the information because you're ignorant.
Finding out the truth. It's not about you.
Dude, right.
And all your buddies telling
What?
everyone.
Right, one sec. What you're gonna need to do? Hold on, Don. You're gonna need to find a spot. You're gonna need to sit down, and you're gonna need to hold your phone still because you're moving around. You keep cutting out, right, and not talking to the microphone. Okay.
I'm talking to the phone. You can see my face from right here.
Yeah, but you keep talking away from it, and then the microphone doesn't pick you up, and we get about half of the words that you are incoherently rambling. I want to focus on gravity. Don, gravity has been proven. I have used it to navigate submarines. I have used it to navigate submarines. PhD Tony literally uses it to find minerals and oil underground for companies. It is real. It has been proven because it is used.
It's all density. Yeah, you can
Again,
search the ground.
density cannot affect an accelerometer.
Say you say.
Well, explain how density affects an accelerometer then.
Fuck if I know. Wouldn't be gravity though.
Well, you don't know what it is, but it's not gravity. Is that what you're saying?
You can't just say it's proven. You got to prove
Well, we
it.
can because it has been proven. We tested it. We use it in real life because it is proven. We wouldn't be able to use it, make predictions with it, and actually have engineering basis because of it if it wasn't proven. You know when they build bridges, you know what they take into account? The acceleration due to gravity.
What they do, Craig? They dig down till they hit bedrock. Then they put the post in, level and plumb. Doesn't matter where
I guess you've never seen bridges across cliffs then. But they take into account the acceleration due to gravity when they are constructing the bridge to know what forces can be applied to it. Because if they don't, then when more mass is put on it by big vehicles, the acceleration due to gravity makes the force bigger and the bridge breaks. So they need to take into account gravity when making the bridge. Yes, you sound like a fool when you laugh. That we all understand. Right, you told me you were different and you were going to take away my ball live. So far, you have performed worse than the majority of flat earthers that I have ever spoken to.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So where's your evidence that the earth is flat?
Go outside.
I've been outside.
A computer all day.
No, I go outside all of the time.
If you're on a mountain and you're up at, say, 5,000 feet, right? You look down at the horizon, you'd be looking down on it, and you'd see curvature. It'd be at knee height.
How would you see? When you say you would see curvature, what do you mean?
At that altitude, you would be able to see curvature if the Earth was curving away.
Well, what do you mean you would be able to see curvature? What would you expect to see? Describe seeing curvature.
Would be at knee level. It wouldn't be up here. Probably an inch below eye level. A lot of
the horizon drops with altitude. This is proven. The higher you go up, the lower compared to level the horizon goes, and it matches the predictions of the globe. So, why are you laughing?
So everyone is agreeing with you that the horizon always goes below.
Yeah, the horizon literally drops with altitude. This is proven.
And it rises to eye level, kind
No,
of.
it doesn't
Just
rise
below
to eye level. That's just not true. The horizon does not rise to eye level. The horizon drops away from eye level with altitude. Are you fucking stupid?
You sound pretty stupid.
Well, no, I'm the one with all the evidence. You're just literally going nuh-uh and ignoring how physics and you're ignoring reality. You are ignoring the fact that the horizon drops away from eye level with altitude. As you go higher, the horizon drops exactly the amount we expect on a globe. The fact that there's a horizon at all means the Earth isn't flat. There's no reason for horizon if the Earth is flat. The horizon is a literal effect of the curvature of the Earth.
Bullshit.
Brilliant rebuttal. Bullshit. Well done. Have you got any... Why is there a horizon if the Earth is flat? Talk us through it.
Why is there a horizon? Why is there no curving horizon on your ball, Craig?
No, I've asked you a question. Explain the horizon if the Earth is flat.
The horizon's the end of our vision. That's as far as we can see, mate. That's it. That's what the horizon is. As far as your eyes
we can
see.
see. So the horizon is closer than the stars and the sun, is it?
It was quite normal to think we lived on a ball ages ago. We weren't that bright.
Don, pay attention. I know ADHD has riddled your brain, but please pay attention. Are you saying that the horizon is closer than the stars and the sun and the moon?
If I look at the horizon, yes. It appears.
So
I don't know.
You said the horizon's as far as we can see, which means that it would be means that everything else is closer than the horizon, including the stars, the sun, and the moon.
Right.
Yet we can see boats appear over the horizon about 3 miles away, which, according to your, stupid fucking interpretation of reality, would mean that the stars, the sun, and the moon are closer than 3 miles. Planes go higher than 3 miles.
Well, I can see the moon quite clearly with a cheap set of binoculars, really clear.
Yeah, because it's really fucking big. It's a fifth the size of our planet. Of course you can see it.
If it was that fucking far away, you wouldn't see anything. You wouldn't see it.
Why not?
It's too fucking far.
But it's really big.
How far?
What'd you say?
Who measured the moon, Craig?
Sorry?
Who measured the moon?
Lots of people have measured the moon. I've measured the distance to the moon with lasers.
Oh, lasers. Who's measured the moon? Who's measured the circumference of the moon and the distance to the moon?
Pretty much every single space agency that exists.
Because they're the ones that gave you the model. They're the ones that made it up.
No, space agencies didn't make up the globe model. They just proved it.
They did. It's all been...
No, we knew it was a globe before space exploration was a thing. Right, Don, you are changing the subject so much. Every time I ask you a question, you change the subject. Can you try and stick to one? Right? Where is the measurements of the Earth being flat?
Everywhere. Measured.
Where? Cite me one.
Everything. Water. We measure water flat.
Incorrect. I could literally. Do you want me to show you measurements of water curving? I can show you those measurements now.
You're going to show me paperwork, Crave?
No, I'll show you pictures and observations done by a surveyor that shows that water curves over a lake. Do you want to see it?
Survey. Is that what you're going to give me?
No, I'm going to show you Did you not? Is hearing a problem for you? I am going to show you what a surveyor did, including the pictures that he took. Right, where is it? All right. Sorry, I'm just getting the right thing for you. Sorry, I'm trying. He's moved things about, so I'm just trying to find the right one. Someone sent me the link to. I can't find it right now, but it's on mctoon.net. If someone can send me the link so I can show Don. I've literally got pictures from a surveyor showing that it's curved, so I just can't seem to find it right now. Who did it? It wasn't. It was Jesse. It was Jesse that did it. Right, I'll find it for you. Hold on. Someone will send it to me. But anyway, yeah, I've got literal measurements of water being curved. So while I'm just grabbing that, have you got any measurements of water being flat? Because you just said that it's flat. So have you got any measurements of it?
What do you want, Craig?
Sorry?
What do you want me to measure?
Well, you said there's measurements of water being flat. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So here is literal measurements of. Let me show you now. I'll share the screen with you. Thank you for sending that to me. I appreciate it. So share, and I'll make sure my audience can see it as well. So this is horizon dip measured, showing that water curves. This line is at eye level, and they're literally showing that when it's at eye level and as the observer's altitude rises, the horizon drops away from eye level exactly as we expect. You have to literally dip it down to look at the horizon, and here's all the notes to show that it was done. And here is also the video explaining all the measurements that he's done and how he did it. So yeah, measure water curves, otherwise that line wouldn't be below eye level. So there's my there's my evidence that water curves, and it's been measured. You've just straight up claimed that water in fact is measured flat. So do you have any evidence to show that water is in fact flat?
Can you demonstrate water curving in a lab or in real life? That's
yes, we can quite easily demonstrate water curving in a lab. We can just spin something, and the forces applied to the water will make the surface curved. So you are changing the subject once again. We're sticking to measurements.
Pushing it away.
We're sticking to measurements. So we have literally measured the water on Earth and shown that it curves. I've just shown you the physical measurements that were done, right? So you can't deny it. The measurements exist. You said there's measurements of water being flat. Could you present them or admit that every single monkey on the planet is smarter than you?
Monkey?
Yes. All monkeys are smarter than you if you cannot present me measurements of water being flat.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Not just monkeys, but amoebas.
Yeah. Hey, what? We don't want to go down that path because all the monkey. Whoa.
Yeah, you're moving around again, and it's causing the microphone to cut out and stuff. Just sit the fuck down.
I'll fucking do what I like, Craig.
Well, if you want to have a conversation with me, you need to make it actually happen by keeping the phone still and talking to it. Like, do you not have a PC that you could have used?
I can, but you put me on the spot. I told you I got the time.
What do you mean I put you on the spot? You've been badgering me for 2 weeks to do this.
Hey, fucking, I've been badgering you. Telling you.
What do you mean I put you on the spot? This was arranged because you kept saying that I wouldn't debate you. You had noticed this was happening. You could have turned your PC on. So, right, let's go over what's happened. I've proven to you that gravity is real. I have shown you measurements of water actually curving and of the Earth being curved. We've talked about the fact that we can go to space and everything. So, all of the evidence so far shows that the Earth is a globe. Do you have any evidence other than your, drug-addled brain that's destroyed that shows that the Earth is flat. The onus is on you now. The onus is on you to show that the Earth is flat with some kind of evidence other than your incoherent rambling of stupidity. Or you could just look off into the distance. So I can't hear a word you're saying. Say that again.
I said we're going to have to end this because my son is crying and he has a sore neck. Okay, I apologise. I have to go.
Okay, all right.
And you're not giving me any. You can say I'm rambling. All you're doing is rambling.
I've given you evidence. I have shown you actual evidence. I haven't just rambled. I have shown you evidence. But maybe try and organise your life so that we can actually sit and have an uninterrupted conversation, okay?
Okay, now you can go off and ramble to all your followers that I'm an idiot and everything, okay?
Oh, you've shown you're an idiot. I don't need to do that. You've shown that you're an idiot. But try and actually organise your life so that we can have a proper conversation, because you said you were going to take my ball away and I'm waiting for it to happen.
Taking your own ball away. There's no such thing as a ball. You don't have a ball, Craig. You live on a flat...
I have many balls, but the Earth is a globe and all the evidence shows that the Earth is a globe. Right, do you need to go for your son or what?
Yes, I do need to go. Sorry, mate. I apologise to the audience. I apologise to everyone. I should have been more organised, but I'm happy to do this again in a setting.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm live on Monday for ages, so we'll chat then, okay?
I'll come in on Monday.
All right, bye.
See ya.
Oh my fucking God, right. Let me show you. For weeks, literally weeks, look, I'm not showing it to you. That's dumb, Craig. For literal weeks, he has been hounding me about having a debate. He appeared out of nowhere. I don't know who he is, really. See how far I'm going back, right? And every day he's telling me about how stupid I am and how he understands science and how he's going to destroy me, and how gravity's just a theory. So he contacted me and he's like, that I ran away from his debate and blocked him. I've no idea who he fucking is. And he's constantly gone on about how he's going to destroy me in debate. Craig, do you want to ride this train? And then he turned up with that. I'll give him one more chance to actually come and, destroy me in debate. But it's not going to happen. Quite clearly. He's a flerf. No flerf could ever destroy anybody in debate. But anyway, so Monday at, let's say 11 a.m. I will start my membership drive. I already have, now 4 debates planned. We're going to be having some of my awesome supporters on, Rachbot, Borg Emporia, and we're going to review some of my debates from DebateCon and stuff. We're going to go over Jeranism, reviewing his debate with Witsit. We're going to do some cannabis advocacy. We're going to try and get MC Toon to play Portal. We're going to have a bunch of fun. And every new membership adds 3 minutes. Every £10 super chat adds another minute. And that's what's going to be coming up. Philip Hardward for $5 says, "Hi Craig, been a while since I caught a stream. How's it going, mate?" Well, it's doing very well, thank you. Tattoo's looking good today. Second best Bob for £5 says, "I'm loving the Star Trek tattoo." Yeah, me too. And again, thank you to Signastep for adding that bit at the top. I am not a merry man. Tim Davidson says for $5, "Haha, I got your ball. I don't know how to say this. I feel a lump. Wait, you weren't even exposed to asbestos snow in Antarctic. Sorry." Docs in Greenlight, $2 says, "Craig, dude is drunk and parenting Oakley and Ross." Yeah, I know. Pig Venus has been a member for 26 months. Thank you. Mr. Svensson, 26, says, time for FTFE to enter the shit. So, yeah, I know. JSS Tiger for $5. The flat earther doesn't care. He's not listening. Nothing Craig is saying is making it through. Absolutely fucking not. Brenda, $5. Today, Flatside proved he doesn't know how internal combustion engines work. Hilarious. Well, Flats doesn't know anything. And Mr. E-Man donated 5 memberships. Thank you very much. I do not know why YouTube is displaying your @name instead of your actual name. That's really annoying. Lord Luminous Pooh for $2 says, I paid $100 for Pooh to be hidden in there. Yeah, but that's really hidden. Okay, guys, we're going to end it tonight. It's a nice short one. And I will be back on Monday, and there's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be posting a bunch of shorts and everything. Also, during the stream on Monday, we'll be writing, recording, and editing my first new episode of Flerfs Are Idiots. So look forward to that. Thank you all for watching. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. I love you all, not you, Gary. I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for the support you give me. It means the absolute world. It's been a crazy couple of years. I know I haven't put out like scripted videos and stuff, and the truth of the matter is that Team Skeptic destroyed my confidence in my ability to make videos with the shitty things that he said to me, and I can never forgive him for that. And I've worked hard to get that back, but I've struggled with mental health and everything, and things have been extremely hard. However, I'm in a much better place now, a much, much better place. I feel better, I'm physically better, I'm in a nicer place where I live, I don't have to worry about my shitty neighbours. So things are getting better, and you will see this channel start to explode over the next few months. Thank you for the support and the patience and the love you've given me, and Monday is me giving back to you guys. I love every single one of you. Not you, Gary, just sit the fuck down. Rachbot, Borg Emporia, Emma, all you super supporters, Signastep, and I can't say enough. I can't say enough how much I appreciate what you've done. Anyway, see you Monday, guys. I love you lots.